Hello, everyone. It's Lindsay Landry, and I'm here with Lanette Simone, one of my dear friends and soul sisters. And this is the Make a Splash Summer Bash. And today we're going to be talking all about manifesting clients and money. And I'm so excited to dive in and talk with Lanette today because she just has this magical energy about her. And, since I met her over a year ago, it's been, I guess, like a year and a month that we met. And since our first couple of conversations, she just being around her and hearing her views about things and the way that she views money and life, it's really just helped me and also transformed the way that I do business and the way that my relationship with money is. So I'm super excited just for you to also hear some of her magical tips and to get to experience her magic. So, Lanette, I'd love for you just to tell them a little bit about you and your business.
Okay, I own the Shot Spot. It's a B12 injectable bar, and we focus on wellness and supporting the immune system, and then having everything else be a side effect of wellness. Weight loss, just overall health. So that's what I do.
I love it. And so one more thing that I just want to say before we fully dive in, I just want to remind everyone that the summer solstice is tomorrow. I know, one of the things that you've reminded me of over and over is like using these big energy portals as also a portal for manifesting. So I just want to remind everyone, this topic in itself is very powerful and energy infused, but also we have two huge portals. This week we have the summer solstice tomorrow, and then Friday is the new moon in Cancer, which is really about like coming home to yourself and then like creating from that cozy place. So I feel like this is a really, really potent time for manifesting. So, if you're watching this, I invite you to, even before you fully dive into like what we're going to be talking about, take a moment and set some intentions for what you're wanting to gain from this talk, but like also what are you wanting to manifest or create in your life right now? So do that now. And so Lanette, I'd love for you to just talk a little bit about how you even got into business, because I know you probably, before you started a business, it wasn't like something that was on your mind. You weren't thinking like, oh, I want to have like a B12 bar and do all these things.
Yeah. That's right. So I was a stay-at-home mom for about 17 years, and I was in like not a happy marriage, very controlling money-wise. And so I kind of went on this self-discovery and I had gained a lot of weight. And so I, lost weight, and I just started getting my confidence. And I really just became obsessed with B12 because that was part of the weight loss program that I was on. And so I loved the way B12 made me feel. And I lost like 40 pounds just eating right and kind of just supporting myself. And so I was like, I want to start a business like this and help other people. And I didn't know I was a manifester before I even knew I was a manifester. So I decided to start my business. And so my then husband said, he's like, no, wait a year, save your money and, wait, right? And so I knew that I couldn't wait. I knew that I had to start my business right then. I was like on fire. So I took my little TJ Maxx credit card and I opened my business. And it just like went on like gangbusters. It was amazing. So, but I kind of want to just touch on one piece from that whole thing is before I started my business, I never paid a bill. I never paid a bill in my adult life. I did not have a relationship with money other than like the punishment kind of parent-child relationship. And so yeah, just starting my own business kind of helped me develop this brand new relationship with money, because money is the most abundant, most amazing thing in the whole wide world. And so, and the universe wants us to have a good life. So it wants to support us and just give us everything that we need to just have the experiences we want to have. So I started my business, did all that. Then I watched or I listened to Soulful Money Medicine with Jody England, and she put you, like, it was this meditation where you are in a place, and I was in a 1950s kitchen, and she was saying, like, what's your money character? And the money is at the door, and you're going to open the door and you're going to see what your money monster is. But mine wasn't a monster, it was a character. It was kind of like, it wasn't kind of like, it was Benjamin Franklin, $100 bill, like, and he had arms and legs, and it was a conga line through the kitchen. It was amazing. So it just, like, the whole kitchen flooded with all of these $100 bills, and we were like dancing, and life was really fabulous. And I was like, yes, this is my relationship with money. I am so supported. And I have a walk-in business. So I ended up divorcing my husband, 3 children, and this brand new business. And so on a walk-in business, I was able to support my whole family. And, just a few short months before, I hadn't even ever paid a bill. Mm-hmm. So that's the power of manifesting, when you just kind of like for anyone watching, like, what is your relationship with money?
Totally.
Thinking of that, and and then also finding the little ways that you're super supported already and you may not even know it. Totally. So another little story.
Hold on.
Can I tell another story?
Yes, but I want to ask you some questions to go deeper first.
Okay. All right.
You know me, and I like to really dive in deep.
I do know that.
So, okay, there's a few things that came up. First thing, I think this is really important. So I just kind of want to highlight it again for the people listening. And because I know, like, when you're starting a business, like, you could have these ideas and it's easy to have like one foot in, one foot out. But something that I really heard you say is that you really had this deep knowing. So it wasn't just an idea, but it was almost like, I like to call it a deep belly knowing, like where you feel it in the pit of your stomach. And like, you absolutely know that if you don't do this, like, there's no like not doing it. Like, you just know that you have to do it. And it sounds to me like that is, that's sort of like the feeling that you were having. Like, there was no like not doing it. Like, you just knew you had to do it.
Right. I knew I had to do it. I had absolutely zero support. This is always my other like big one too. My father-in-law, after, I was in business and everything, goes, I never thought you could do something like this. And I was like, of course you did it, because other people, when you're trying to start a business, they will want to limit you based on their own limitations. So, that's something to keep in mind too. It's like, when you do have that knowing, you just go and you don't listen to the people around you, because they don't know what you know. They don't have your passion. They don't have your gifts.
Yeah,
so
you use the tools we're about to talk about in a little while, and you call in the things that you need, right?
Yes.
Like, that's what you totally did. Like, you just started to manifest all the things that you needed to line up with where you're wanting to go.
Yes.
And the other thing that I wanted to just talk a little bit more about, so like, you started to talk about like your relationship with money. So, at first, like, in your marriage, it was sort of like that parent for you where, you got like an allowance and you really didn't have a ton of freedom with it. It was more of like a control. And, then when you like started to have the choice of your, like, of what you wanted to create, because it wasn't really, that was sort of like the old conditioning, and it wasn't really what you wanted, but that was maybe like your childhood story, or just like growing up, the story that you fit into. And then you started to realize like you wanted something else. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's super important, because I know when we met, I was kind of at a place where I knew that I wanted to move forward in my business, but at the same time, money wasn't like a huge motivator to me. And I don't know if you remember that about me, but like, I didn't have a love affair with money. Like, I know that you like love money so much. And it's like, that's one of the reasons that you were able to bring it in so much. And I was sort of like the opposite. Like, for me, it was, it felt like a huge responsibility. And it felt like if I have more money, like that means I'm going to have more clients that I'm going to have to take care of. And it's going to be this big responsibility. It's going to be all of these things, more work. And yeah, that was one of the ways that you really helped me start to shift because of your outlook. And so I don't know if you want to say anything about that, like around just like starting. So for someone that might be at a place right now where they are, you know, still feeling like money is a burden, or they feel like money is controlling them, right? So it's like maybe they have limited resources, or like their husband is like controlling their resources, or whatever the story is. Like, is there any like first step that you would maybe say for someone like that?
Yes. So it's so easy just even working on receiving, right? Receiving a compliment, doing things for yourself. I think once you become an allowance, even like with your, you know, just taking a spa day, doing things that support yourself, it becomes easier to, you know, receive on every level, receive money, receive, you know, comped things. My chiropractor comped my adjustment yesterday. We do a lot of work and together, and I was like, and I felt uncomfortable at first. I was like, no, this is our exchange. And so that is kind of, and so I told the receptionist, I'm like, thank you. I'm going to receive this in gratitude. What a nice thing to do for me. And so, and just look at how it is for you to receive things. Is it difficult for you to even receive a compliment without having to go into like defense mode or demeaning mode, you know? And so I feel like that translates into your money relationship as well. Like, you are deserving of receiving. And these things are an exchange. You know, money is an exchange for your beautiful gifts that you share with other people. And that is the great exchange. You know, there's no imbalance in that. You're not less, like, if you're not receiving money, it doesn't mean because your gifts aren't amazing, you know? And so just really kind of looking, and that's a great thing that you help with, Lindsay, is identifying the thing that looks like the mouse in the corner, that's really the elephant in the room. You are so good at identifying those blocks and helping people work through, you know, any challenges that they might have. So does that kind of wrap it up? Like, I feel like just receiving, working on receiving,
Totally.
just taking and knowing that there's no shame in money. Money is not bad.
Yeah. And
money provides
I remember that was something, you know, some of the first steps too, like that I started to take after, you know, we met and we were soul sisters. So we were talking every week, but giving myself permission to receive. So even like if I made a sale, like rather than that just having to go to the bills, like being able to have something for myself. So even if that was like, I remember I had a wallet. It was like a hobo wallet. I think this was, you know, in the beginning when we first met. And it was like literally stuffed in my closet. Like, I wasn't even letting myself use this wallet. And it's like over $100 wallet, right? And it's brand new, like hiding in my closet because I was like pushing abundance and money away that much. And so it could be that simple as like letting yourself have something nice too. Like, you don't have to go spend money on something nice, but it's like, I didn't even spend money on it. I had it and I wasn't using it.
Right. Yeah. It's those little things, just knowing that, yes, you are deserving of enjoying those little beautiful things. And it doesn't make you materialistic. It doesn't make you all of these limiting labels that people want to give you. You know what I mean? Because they don't want you to be disappointed, or they, it's that lack mentality that we've just all kind of been programmed to be in. And so just really shedding those things. And that is like the best example, the hobo wallet. That's so funny. I remember that.
Yeah. And so then I want you to talk, I know you had another story, and it might be this or it might not be, but I want you to talk a little bit about like your relationship with Benjamin Franklin, because I remember you told me you were like, break out that wallet and invite him in, and like it totally worked.
Okay. This is the fun stuff, right? So initially when I opened my business, like my price point was like $25, right? So I loved Andrew Jackson. I was like, I love a $20 bill. And so then I'm like, no, you know what? I think that I want to be in a relationship with Benny. Like, I love a $100 bill. And so if you look at the energetic of those bills, right? Like the $20 bill, he's not looking at you. He's kind of aloof. He's a little, whatever. We love him, right? He still buys nice things. He still supports us. But Benjamin Franklin is making eye contact with you. He wants to be with you. He wants to find you. And he's got like that cute little smirk on his face. Like, he's so cute. Like, you could just, like, seriously, Google Benjamin Franklin. He was pretty amazing. And so I love his energy. And so every time someone gives me $100 bill, I always like tell him, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you found me. You're so cute. And tell your friends where we're at. So, and then I have a wallet. It's just a cash wallet, and that's where all of my cash goes. And so it's a respect. It's a camaraderie. It's like my happy place. For your money has to have some place to go. And so it's nice. And then whenever I spend like $100, I always say, bring your replacement, right? So I took my daughter out to dinner, and it was like $120. So I put, the boys down, and I told my daughter, I said, tell the boys thank you for dinner and tell them to bring their replacement. And so, we laughed. And the next morning I went to my office, I moved my printer, and there was a $100 bill under my printer. So calling your money to you, right, is a good thing, and it works.
Totally. I remember too, it's like you were telling me this, and I had someone pay like over $1,000. I don't even remember what the thing was, but it was all in hundreds. And I think I Marco Polo do that day. So excited to get all my bennies. But I think it's so true, right? Because it's like, again, going back to like when we're in that story energy, or in the energy of like being controlled, even like when we're going to pay for something, we can be in the like feeling guilty or feeling bad about like having to pay for the thing. But when we can be in the gratitude and like appreciative of the money, and like thanking it, and thanking it for supporting us, then we can like, we're actually inviting more to come in.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I always reflect on when I'm purchasing things, if I'm, taking my children on a trip or something like that. It's such a beautiful acknowledgement to exchange that your gifts brought in this money, and now you get to experience and make memories and do the different things that you want, how you want to live your life. And so I really love to be in that place. And it's, shifting that from guilt to gratitude. Mm-hmm. I like that. Guilt to gratitude.
Yeah. And I just want to like say a little bit more about this, and if you have anything to say about it too. But I think it's important because like a lot of times we're also taught or conditioned like not to have the experience, right? Like it's better to just do what you're supposed to do. But I think there's something actually really magical about allowing yourself to have the experience. So for some people that might look like having a nice dinner and like really being able to connect with their children or their significant other. For other people, like for me, that experience was giving myself permission to invest in trainings that I really deeply desired,
Yeah.
or even working with coaches that I really deeply desired. But it's like um, that experience is, I think it's like something that nobody can take away from us. So it really is adding to our personal value. Is there anything you want
Yeah.
to say around that? Just like letting,
I love the supporting the coaches. Well, actually, I think you said it in, trainings that you desired that are up leveling you. I, yeah, I like that exchange as well. I feel like it's really important to, because that's supporting the coach who's supporting you, and then you're supporting, your clients, and then, it's just like a really great flow. Yes. So yeah, the money piece of whatever it is that you're desiring. But I wanted to say that about the coaches. There was something else I was going to say about that, but I don't know what it is. So,
I just feel
so
like
manifesting, setting intentions, I think is too like,
and I just want to name this because it's coming forward, but like I know when people are at that place of investing in themselves and their business, like it can feel really scary, and it can be one of those like teeter-totters where you're really questioning. And I just want to say,
yeah,
like, from my personal experience, when I let myself really invest from that desire, like from that excited place, and that kind of like that burning in my belly, like, oh my God, like I want this, I need it, I desire it. It always leads to magic. But if I'm investing from the place of like, I have to do this, or like, I have to do this to get to the next step. So like, I've invested from that place where I'm hiring business coaches or different, consultants or things. Those didn't necessarily lead to the magic that I really wanted it to go to.
yeah,
But when I invest from the feeling of magic, like this feels really good and juicy and like exciting, even though it's scary, like it's
yeah,
always led to magic. I don't know if you have
yeah.
anything to say about that.
That's just the manifesting piece of it, right? Like that would be something that would be on your vision board. That would be an intention that you would set with the new moon, right? Those kind of really amazing experiences. So yeah, and that always does lead to the magic and the biggest bang for your buck. So I have a manifesting jar in my office, and so my clients can write. So on the new moon, I let everything sit in that manifesting jar from the new moon until the full moon. And I just feel like it just marinates in all of the magic and all of the desire and the wishes of all of the people who, write their intentions and put it in that jar. And so, yeah, so with the new moon, just having kind of a ritual of setting intentions, doing vision boards, really getting clear and focused on what it is that you are desiring to up level you, or the experiences you're trying to bring into your life.
Beautiful. And do you want to talk a little bit about, so there's two more things. So is there like a little bit that you want to say around, because I know you do this around the new moon, full moon too, like calling clients in. I know you have like a few different rituals you do around just kind of setting that magic to create space for clients to come in.
Yes. So this is okay. So I like to set, what kind of clients would I like to see? What kind of health challenges are they experiencing? How can I help them? And so I do throw that out there. Like I manifest that on the new moon. I set that out there. And so it was really interesting. The other day I was doing Michelle Wolf's blessing wheel class. And she said that in college, she came to the realization that there was someone in the world praying for us at all times. There are monks, there are nuns, there are like all of the people praying for the well-being of the world. And, you know, when there are people in crisis and they kind of like, they're touched by one of those energetic tendrils, and they get the strength to go through whatever challenge that they're facing. And I feel like it's the same energetic when you're calling the client that will vibe with you and what your gifts are and how you can help them. And you verbally, you put that out there, you put a lot of intention into connecting with that person on an energetic level. They will reach out and grab onto that tendril, and they will find you. So I ask for a lot of different things. I ask for things for myself. Like sometimes I want clients who are messengers. And so, and I like to have fun with it too. You know, I like to be like, I want it, you know, just to be some fun, fabulous person to walk through my door who has a message for me. And I get that all the time. And I love it. I did that not too long ago. And this beautiful woman named Bella came in, and she has a crystal bed and, you know, like all of these things. So now we get to exchange. I get to go be on her crystal bed, and she comes in and gets B12 shots. And but that was an energetic intention. I asked for her, and the universe delivered her to my doorstep. So there's so much power in that. You know, people have so much to give, and connecting with the people who are needing to receive it on an energetic level, that's the best way to connect with them, because there's no money involved in that. There's no, you know, you're not paying Facebook ads. You're not, you know, doing anything. It's really connecting your guides to their guides. And you can ask your guides to bring certain people to you too. So you put your intention out of what kind of client you'd like to work with, and ask your guide to go find that. And then when they come to your door, you say, thank you, please bring another. Right? Always beautiful. Having the rotation. Okay.
I love that. And I've used this in my business. I mean, when I started my business, I think I was like 23, 24. So I had zero like marketing experience, and it was solely off of setting intentions and just manifesting. But I've also, even as I've grown, I've set the intention to, even it can be fun to like get validation sometimes. Like if you're just like wanting reassurance or, you know, confirmation on the direction you should go. And I'll set little intentions for those kind of things. And then it's so fun to get my clients reflecting that back to me. So like saying like, oh my God, yes, you helped me with this, or, you know, all the little signs and clues, which I think might lead to the next thing that you wanted to talk about.
Is my story? Is
Yes.
It story time yet?
Yes, the signs and the clues.
Okay. So I was at Whole Foods a few months ago, and I was loading my groceries, and I closed the door, and my hand kind of brushed it across my window. And there was all like this sticky residue on there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to wash my windows. So, but it was just that one window. So I was leaving the parking lot, and there is this gentleman holding Windex and a little cloth. So I like stopped, and I asked him if he would just wash that one window. And I gave him like $10, and I left. So when I was driving home, I was like, oh my gosh, that's how like supported we are. Like I needed something, and 2 seconds later it just appears. And it can be that small. I mean, that is really, there's nothing too great. There's nothing too small that won't be answered or given to you if you voice that you need it, you know? So I always felt, and then, you know, in turn, he needed that money, right? Like he probably was in a place where obviously, you know, that's what he's doing for his business. So that exchange was good for him also. So a few weeks later, I saw that whole like encounter just kind of touched my heart. So I was back at Whole Foods, and that same man was like over by my car, and he was like, hey, do you need your windows washed? And I didn't. And so we had this conversation, and he was telling me, you know, he's like, oh, it's hot out here, and I'm like 65, and it's not easy. And just as he was saying that, this like 20-something walks by and gives him a pink lemonade. And I was like, oh my God. And he's 65, right? Which is 11, which is a major manifesting number. And then, so I told him, I said, I feel like our angels always bring us together. And so I have something for you. And so, I gave him some money because I feel like our, just like I was saying, your guides can bring your clients to you. I feel like our angels bring us together because there's an exchange that we need to have. So just 2 days ago on Sunday, I saw him again, and I posted all this on Facebook, and people were like, "Oh, I want to go see him at Whole Foods," and all of this stuff. And so I told him, and I said, "Do you remember?" I said, "I was here the other day, and you said you were hot, and that guy gave you a pink lemonade." And his eyes got so big. He goes, "Yeah," because that did happen. And I'm like, "That's how supported you are. Like, you are a manifester. This is awesome." So I took a selfie with him, and then I did kind of like an update to my Facebook post about angels and entrepreneurs. And someone posted in the comments that, because I just call him friend, right? His name is Ben.
Of
So I'm
course.
like, oh my God, your name is Benny. This is amazing. So I was like, of course your name is Benny. And I was trying to tell him like I'm like, you are such a manifester. And I love it that you are supported. And he's just such a kind guy. And it's just like, there's so much magic around him. And so I just love things like that. But that's life, right?
What's coming to me too is like when you love what you do and you're willing to show up and you're passionate about it, like you're going to attract what you need, and all it takes is one person. So just how he attracted you, and then you're sharing on Facebook, and now all of these people want to see him because they heard your story. And it's like he's washing windows, but it's like he's also rippling out that much just because of his energy, right? And
right,
that's why I absolutely I can almost cry. I love energy so much, and when we are in alignment with what we're supposed to be doing, we are supported. And it's like all it takes is being in that alignment, one person or one little bitty ripple, right? Then it ripples out. And that in itself is the magic, I think.
I know. And really like washing windows, like and then you start to think about the energetic components of all of those things. Like he has his, I feel like he gives me like a sparkly perspective on life. Like he clears my line of vision so I can see. And I love that kind of stuff. I love all of the little angels that are in our lives every day. And so that is like the huge piece of looking at your own life. Where are you supported? Where are these angels showing up for you? And then really building on that magic when you really can be in a place of like, oh my gosh, I am so supported. Everything opens up and life just completely changes.
I love it. I could talk to you all day. I love you so much. And I'm just so grateful that you were willing to share your magic and your love for money and manifesting with us, because from my experience, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Lanette is one of those people who just hearing her and being around her really does shift and clear energy for you. So such an honor to have you talk with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. I love this.
And I have a feeling we'll do it again in the future as well.
Okay, yay. Good.
Any last words that you want to say before we close?
Just get your intentions out there. Okay, so you talk about the summer solstice, because I think it's important to just kind of wrap up with, it's for the next 6 months and really.
Yeah, so this is what I'm feeling. So it might not be, if you go look at the astrology, this might not be an astrology thing, but it really feels like we're clearing out right now. And we're at the summer solstice. So it's like we're clearing out, we're tilling the soil. So you might have noticed like the past week or so might have felt a little bumpy. You might notice some stuff coming out that is needing to go, weeded out. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're like weeding our garden, we're tilling our soil, and basically preparing it to plant the seeds for what we're really wanting to grow over the next 6 months. So, set your intentions for this month, but also I really invite you to look at what are you wanting to create over the next 6 months. So throughout the end of the year. And go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So Neptune is also is retrograde right now. It's from June 16th until November. And so it kind of gives you an extra opportunity to really see clearly, right? And setting boundaries is huge during this retrograde. So really good for your creations. And boundaries are also a really amazing things that help you manifest bigger, faster, So
Yes.
looking at the places where your boundaries need to be set.
That might be our next chat. I'm sure we both have a lot to say on that.
Been a long road, right?
Yes. All right, my dear, I love you. And if anyone has questions, feel free to comment below or reach out. And, Lanette's also in the group, so you can friend her if you want to follow her personally on Facebook as well. And if you're in Reno, go check her out at the Shot Spot as well.
Yes.
So sending you all so much love. Thank you for watching.
Thanks. Bye.